One Zambia, one nation. This is Zanis News to present. My name is Henry Himonde. A look at our top stories in the news. 60-day ultimatum forces contractor to expedite works on ultra-modern youth center. 560 million kwacha needed to overhaul Choma's main water supply line. Integrated National Registration Information System launched in Mwinilunga. And government welcomes installation of senior Chief Nduveni after 5-year wait. The news in detail. Construction works at the ultra-modern Kwilimuna Youth Resource Center in Mpongwe district have reached 95%. This follows a 60-day ultimatum given by government to the contractor engaged on the project to conclude the works. Let's join Noah Kangali with the details.
It has been under construction for the past 9 years. Works at the Kwilimuna Youth Resource Center in Mpongwe district have finally reached 95%. This came to light when Mpongwe District Commissioner Baton Mukomba inspected the facility. Earlier government granted the contractor engaged at the facility a 60-day ultimatum to complete the works.
As of now, I think I wish to express my satisfaction, and I wish to take this opportunity to inform the public that very soon we shall be having students to come and learn the life skills from Kwilimuna Skills of Vocational Training. Already we've seen that they are doing tailoring, but we need also to ensure that those who are to acquire skills to do with mechanics, to do with carpentry, and also other skills, they are still here to come and benefit once it's entirely completed.
Center Manager Patrick Mulenga is optimistic that government will soon commission the facility.
We are moving on very well and very soon to be handed over to the government so that young people can start using the infrastructure. Once it's done, we want to introduce more programs. Currently we have about 8 running programs. Once we are done with this one, we want to go to 15 so that we can cater for more young people, get rightful skills and be independent in the community.
Aside from the construction works, the district commissioner took time to visit students being sponsored in entrepreneurship programs under the 2022 Constituency Development Fund.
As women, we are so happy, we are thankful much more to the President who has this knowledge and the care he has shown for all the Zambian people.
Noah Kangali for Zanis in Mpongwe.
From Copperbelt Province, we move to Luapula, where the Zambia Police Service Commission Chairperson Peter Machungwa has announced plans to establish a second district police post in Mansa district. Dr. Machungwa explains that setting up a second district police post in the area will bring efficiency in service delivery. Godfrey Chikumbi has details in the following report.
The Zambia Police Service Commission is one of the commissions enshrined in the Republican Constitution. With members drawn from diverse backgrounds, the commission has embarked on a tour of Luapula Province. The uniformed men and women from the Zambia Police and Immigrations Department in Luapula Province have gathered in Mansa for a meeting with the commission. Chairperson Peter Machungwa has led commissioners on this tour. At Mansa Spita Center, Dr. Machungwa has made a number of policy pronouncements.
Has come out with a new policy to try to decentralize and allow communities which are closer to the formations to do some work. We are going to establish human resource management committees in the police and also in immigration.
Plans to set up a second police district, among others, have been tackled here.
Police district coming to police. Now, it means we are only going to form one human resource management committee. In some provinces, they have a few more police districts. Mwense, Mwansabobwe, and Chirege, Chiengi, and Kawamba would be another police district.
Dr. Machungwa spoke against compromised loyalty to the government among officers, while assurances on accommodation and transport have been made.
Loyal to the government of the day, you are supposed to treat individuals fairly. No, this one belongs to this political party. What? Such things have died with PF. Some of you will know you are supporting that other political party last time. And if you have survived, and some of you may not survive, because you are beating up villagers everywhere in the name of the party, when you are supposed to be doing things in the name of the law. But you are here, we want you to be professional.
For Zanis TV, Godfrey Chikumbi reporting in Mansa.
In Northwestern Province, Anti-Corruption Commission ACC Chairperson Musa Mwenye says the institution remains resolute to ruthlessly fight corruption regardless of who is involved. Mr. Mwenye says the Anti-Corruption Commission will take advantage of the political will by the government to fight past, present and future corruption in its totality. Mr. Mwenye was speaking in Solwezi today when he called on Northwestern Deputy Permanent Secretary Naomi Tetamashimba. The Anti-Corruption Commission Director General Gilbert Piri says the institution will continue to carry out its mandate to safeguard national resources. Mr. Piri said the Anti-Corruption Commission has been granted Treasury authority to open up 12 new district offices and provincial offices in Muchinga province by the end of this year. And Ms. Tetamashimba said the fight against corruption needs concerted efforts from both public and private stakeholders, adding that good governance and national integrity is centered on how well the nation deals with corruption.
Must admit that there was a move to weaken the institution. The institution is now back on track. So we are committed to keeping the institution independent. We are committed to fighting corruption. And the issue is not us being a bludgeoning weapon to pursue political opponents, no. The issue is about pursuing corruption. Unfortunately, the president, the vice president on the floor of the parliament has made it clear that the idea is to fight past, present, and future corruption.
If you have public officers that are abusing public trust, public resources presently, we will go for them. The head of state himself is on record. He has said, if you do anything, you're on your own. So basically, he's left you to us. So we do not expect that anyone wielding public authority would decide to privatize our resources for personal use.
The province, I think under the new Dawn government, we realize that good governance goes hand in hand with the fight against corruption. The integrity of a nation, it will always be upheld if the corruption is something that we all take part and fight for.
In Southern Province, 560 million kwacha is needed to overhaul the main water supply line, which has outlived its lifespan as the infrastructure was installed in the 1950s. To this end, government has released 8 million kwacha to Southern Water and Sanitation Company towards the revamping of part of its main water supply lines from Manzuma Dam in Choma district. Here's a report.
This is Manzuma Dam, a major source of water supply to the residents of Choma, constructed in 1956. With the passage of time, the main pipeline supplying water to Choma town and surrounding communities has outlived its lifespan, compromising the quality of water.
Sometimes 6 hours up to 8 shameshi yaya. Futi lunch time takuba meshi. Futu kusa meshi 16, 17. So time yonse kulakala kutakulia meshi.
Month now. The water that has been coming out of the tap has been very bad, which is not a good thing, okay? And even when you look at the water itself, it's really looking brownish and when it settles in a bucket at the bottom, you're able to see those particles, of dirty. So
Government has since allocated 8 million kwacha to Southern Water and Sanitation Company for the rehabilitation of the pipeline.
In this particular component, we have been funded by the Zambian government 100%. The phase is 8.7 million kwacha, and this is to cover 4 kilometers of the riser main from Unzuma Dam up to Choma, the booster station. By the way, when you have a pipe burst, like the way the clay soil is, after repairs, this is where you have a flash of dead water in the system. And if it's more often, you have complaints like that we are having in terms of brown water, because it will flash. After a few minutes or hours, it will flash, but it's because of the frequent repairs that we have had on the line. Actually, that's what is affecting.
King Center Construction Company has been awarded the contract.
We are happy with the work, and let me also indicate that we started this project before we even received anything from the funders or from the government, meaning that as King Center contractor, we didn't want to waste time to wait for the money to come, because we are seeing the agency of the project itself, and our interest is to save Swasco so that they have their aim achieved within the shortest period of time.
Quality water supply is expected in the district once the pipe rehabilitation project is completed. Mulenga Chilufia, Zanis, in Choma District, Southern Province.
In agriculture news, government has reaffirmed its commitment towards transforming the agriculture sector into an economic vehicle for eradicating poverty and creating jobs. Minister of Agriculture Mtolo Piri notes that agriculture is a key driver in eradicating poverty, both at household and national level. Mr. Piri states that government attaches great importance to the thriving of the agriculture sector, as it has the potential to contribute to the growth of the country's gross domestic product. The minister made the remarks when he officiated at the 50th graduation ceremony of the University of Zambia in conjunction with the National Resources Development College, NRDC. Speaking earlier, UNZA Acting Vice Chancellor Annie Sikwibele urged NRDC to continue upholding and abiding by the standard requirements. Over 500 students graduated in various agricultural disciplines with certificates and diplomas.
For members with merit,
the 2022 NRDC graduates are special in that they are graduating at a time when there is renewed impetus to drive agriculture forward. I urge the graduates, thank you, I urge you to participate in various government agricultural empowerment schemes that are now all-inclusive in the new Dawn government. Out of the 500 of you as you sit there, some of you should not look at getting employed. Go forward, come forward to the government that is offering incentives, offering funds for you to go directly into the agriculture sector and be employers of yourselves.
I note that this year, a total of 557 graduates will be awarded the diplomas of the University of Zambia in conjunction with Natural Resources Development College. I commend you, Madam Principal, for this great achievement, and I would like to encourage your management to continue upholding and abiding by the standard requirements instituted by statutory bodies offering checks and balances of training programs to ensure that the product from NRDC is recognized with embedded assurance.
The college. 1. Development of a 5-year investment plan aimed at revitalizing and commercializing agricultural enterprises across various value chains in order to attain self-sustainability and augment practical training. This will certainly bring back the lost glory of the institution and reposition it as a center of excellence.
From Luapula Province, Linda Mpemo reports that Milenge Town Council has commenced maintenance works on the Milenge-Kasanka Road. Council Chairperson Clement Mwila says over 100,000 kwacha of equalization funds have been allocated to the project.
To ease the movements of goods and services in the Milenge district, Milenge Town Council has started rehabilitating the most deployable parts of Milenge-Kasanka Road. The 74-kilometer road links the area to the neighboring Sanfia district. Over 100,000 kwacha of equalization fund has been allocated to the project.
The most dangerous part of Milenge-Kasanka Road, this is where people get stuck. So we're trying to do spot improvement between Mumbututa Junction and Gabon. It's about 10 kilometers, and we've allocated over 100,000 kwacha. We are finding it a challenge to do, of course, improve service delivery to our people because of the bad road network. So, the only appeal we have to government, we need a third road.
Meanwhile, the community wants government to tar the road.
Umultengo ula kuromulando no msewa tawa wino mafuta ya repwa afine batampa utwadilile paka fe ukapwe ukawame ukudingana ne msebo shaba nenso efo shawame shama tamaki
abenge abakwe bati bashitefisabo barafirwa kwingira kuno rero nomba nawo kwa TFPF inyure fo kwe bati unini kishe muri motoka bara demanda pa musebo ati musebo tawuli bwino tetinkwani shokusende FPF ya fulefi ifibambo kuwamia ko musebo ifintu fyala abako bwino.
Linda Mpemo, Zanis, Milenge District, Luapula Province.
In Northern Province, Kaputa Town Council has disbursed over 1 million kwacha Constituency Development Fund CDF for the 2022 first quarter allocation. Town Council Secretary Moses Mutioka says 532,000 kwacha has been disbursed to Lukasha and Massa Trades Training Institutes to sponsor 56 students under the Youth Skills Development Fund. He adds that 334 pupils from Kaputa Boarding Secondary School have been supported with school bursaries amounting to 334,000 kwacha. Meanwhile, Mr. Mutioka says the CDF committee has approved to purchase of a complete set of earth-moving equipment for Kaputa constituency using the 2022 CDF. And Kaputa District Commissioner Cosmas Mwaya has commended the local authority for successfully disbursing the funds to the beneficiaries.
I would like to confirm that under school bursaries, we managed to support a total of 334 students in boarding school. About 333 were at Kaputa Boarding Secondary School. The other person is Mikasama School of the Disabled. For Lukasha Trades, we spent about 445,000 kwacha. That has gone to Lukasha Trades to cater for the students there. But we also got 12 students at Massa Trades. So far, we have got a total, I can confirm, about 39 clubs that have received funding totaling about 488,000 kwacha.
As a district, we have witnessed a lot of progress, beginning with the Constituency Development Fund, which has been increased from 1.6 million to 25.7 million kwacha. And I can confess and confirm today that as Kaputa District, out of that 25.7 million, we have managed to dispatch the package for empowerment, that is for women and the youth. We have given them their monies.
In Northwestern Province, the Department of National Registration, Passport and Citizenship in Mwinilunga District has commenced the issuance of the National Biometric Identity Numbers under the Integrated National Registration Information System Program. District Commissioner Harrison Kamuna launched the program with a call on residents to turn up and get the new digitized personal identity document. Obet Lijim has more in the following report.
Government has launched the Integrated National Registration Information Systems Project in Mwinilunga District. The project aims to issue citizens with a new integrated biometric National Registration Identity Number.
We are moving from this stage of the NRC to another stage of the same NRC. We are going to be recognized as Zambians using a different document. It will have features that will distinguish us from all other people in the 5 continents of the world.
National Registration, Passport and Citizenship District Registrar Gratson Kamanga explains details about the program.
What it requires for you to be enrolled in the new system, you need to come, for those who are above 16, to come with their old NRC, which we call it a legacy NRC. And also, you need to come and get the forms. You fill them. After you are done, that's when the process starts. I also urge all children that have not registered for birth certificates, they have to come to register birth certificate, because Mwinilunga now has been given the mandate to produce birth certificates.
District heads of government departments have welcomed the project.
In relation to our execution of the program under FISIP, that will help us a lot, because we can now integrate into that system and actually verify our farmers that are actually accessing inputs.
Within the neonatal period, which is 30 days, you have your number and you carry that number throughout your life. I think it's going to make life easier. For us in the Ministry of Health, you know, the smart care component is going to be enhanced.
The program targets all public service workers in its initial implementation in 26 districts across the country. For Zanis, Obed Lijim in Mwinilunga District, Northwestern Province.
Government has urged media houses in the country to come up with workable policies and strategies on how to deal with sexual harassment at workplaces. Minister of Information and Media Chushika Sanda notes that there is need for every media house to be a safe workplace and be zero tolerant to any form of sexual harassment. She said this in a speech read on her behalf by Permanent Secretary Kenneth Kalunga during the Women in News Sexual Harassment Conference in Lusaka. Miles Kawengo has details in the following report.
The fight against sexual harassment in the media has gained momentum, with stakeholders calling for concerted efforts by everyone in the fight against the bad behavior. This is the reason Women in News, WIN, and various stakeholders gathered here to have a conversation around sexual harassment and its negative impact on victims and the media organizations. According to WIN, 1 in every 2 women have experienced sexual harassment in their lives, and 74% of the cases went unreported, giving perpetrators the undeserved power to repeat the vice.
1 in every 2 have experienced sexual harassment at some point in their lives. But what is even more sadder is that 74% of the cases went unreported, giving perpetrators the undeserved power to do it again and again and again. While sexual harassment cases are high in the media industry, the silence around the subject has for a long time been deafening.
Women in News Africa Region Deputy Executive Director Jane Gordia also attended the meeting and had this to say.
Our core mission is that we have a society where women and men are treated equally. When we work with media organizations, we want to close the gender gap in news, and we want to close the gender gap within organizations where the top part of media organization is male heavy. We want to see a situation where People are treated equally.
Minister of Information and Media was represented by the ministry's permanent secretary, Kenneth Kalunga.
Sexual harassment is not a mere social issue. It is a serious human rights abuse which we cannot allow to continue in the media. I therefore urge the media houses in the country to come up together, to come up with workable policies and strategies on how to deal with these issues around sexual harassment.
Miles Kawingo for Zanis in Lusaka.
And now to Western Province. In his quest to appreciate the free education policy, Litunga Imwiko II of the Barose Royal Establishment has visited Liumba Secondary School in Kalabo District. The Litunga, who is accompanied by his Ngambela and senior Indunas, is on a 5-day tour of Kalabo and Sikongo districts. Details in the following report.
The girl child is an important aspect in our society, hence the need to enable the sector have equal access to education with the boys, as education is an equalizer. While visiting the Liumba Secondary School, Kalabo District Education Board Secretary Malamomo Angelwa had an opportunity to explain to His Majesty the Litunga some of the strides being achieved in the education sector.
From grade 7 to grade 12. But about from an social cash transfer. Good. Program register over 5,000 girls only. Mi fa mismo process ya kuba kama ngono ni kwenda verify kulikana baadhi exist maliko usafeza fera kusaini serikali muso waka kwa share.
And the Litunga was so far impressed with what is going on in the education sector at Liumba Secondary School and in the country as a whole.
Muyaho wa science laboratory rural area mabula kindwe tuna
Liumba Secondary School has also received a facelift after massive school rehabilitations. Reporting for Zanis, I am Ikachana Sindala in Kalabo District of Western Province.
As we continue with the news, government has welcomed the installation of Senior Chief Nduweni of the Lamba people. The installation comes after a 5-year succession dispute. Copperbelt Province Permanent Secretary Augustine Kasongo says it is government's desire to see a smooth succession process in all chiefdoms. Details in the following report.
He has been officially pronounced as Senior Chief Nduweni of the Lamba-speaking people. Modi Chaile becomes Senior Chief Nduweni the 12th after a 5-year-long succession dispute. People from all walks of life gathered at St. Anthony Mission area in Impongo district to witness the installation ceremony. In a speech read on his behalf by Impongo District Commissioner, Provincial Permanent Secretary Augustine Kasongo welcomed the installation of the traditional leader. Mr. Kasongo said government values traditional leaders in the development process.
The new government of His Excellency Mr. Hakainde Hichilema will always work with Royal Highnesses in fostering development, because we are aware of the fact that chiefs are the key drivers and partners of economic development in the nation. As government, we look up to chiefs as beacons of peace and sources of wisdom and counsel.
Chief Nkambo is a Lamba Lima Royal Council of Chiefs chairperson.
Be an example to your subjects. in peacemaking, in family life. A resource of wise counsel and experience that will assist you as you discharge your royal duties as a chief.
Meanwhile, Senior Chief Chuala of the Lamba-speaking people called for an end to succession disputes in the province.
Ukulabira msungu ati ni history. Ubufumu ni history. Kanda wispo history ya ubufumu. Detu webo kwa ubufumu.
Noah Kangali for Zanis in Mpongwe.
We wrap up the news on a sporting note. The fixtures are out for the Total Energy AFCON Under-20 Egypt 2023 qualifiers that will be staged in Eswatini from October 7th to 16th, 2022, with the hosts set to open their campaign against Group A rivals Botswana at Somlolo Stadium. The unveiling of the fixtures has revealed that the tournament will start a day later than originally planned, as it gets underway with 11-time winners Zambia taking on Mauritius in the Group A game at 12 hours Central African time on October 7th, 2022. This is according to the Total Energies AFCON Under-20 Egypt 2023 COSAFA qualifier official page. That sports item brings us to the end of the news, but before we go away, another look at the top stories. 60-day ultimatum forces contractor to expedite works on ultra-modern youth center. 560 million kwacha needed to overhaul Choma's main water supply line. Integrated National Registration Information System launched in Mwinilunga. And government welcomes installation of Senior Chief Nduweni after a 5-year wait. Thank you so much for watching Zanis News. On behalf of the entire news production crew, my name is Henry Himonde. Remember, we are one Zambia, one nation. Until next time, it's goodbye.